Today's topic is about viruses. I've had many questions being asked, what do I do about viral infections? So this is what I'm going to talk about today. And the approach I'm going to give you today is in the form of, there is a viral load, that means the virus levels is too much, and it's higher than the load of warrior cells. Your warrior cells is what fights the viruses. So what I'm going to explain is, how do you take the viral load and bring it down, and how do you take the warrior cells, which is your immune cells, your white blood cells, the fighter cells, and how do you bring it up? Because when that level is handled, then that's how you turn from sickness to wellness. So I'm just going to give you a little diagram. Let's say we take this as a base, and let's say this is the number of viruses. Okay, so this is the viruses, and this is the warrior cells. This is we'll call it warrior cells because these are the cells that fight. They fight to keep you healthy. They fight to prevent damage done to your body, because the virus damages the body. I will explain how that works. So what is the trick here is, how do you take this load, so we'll put it in red because that's danger. How do you bring that down to this level, and how do you bring the warrior cells up to this level? Which means when you can keep the viruses at this level, and you can maintain your warrior cells at that level, so there's always a gap. That means is you are healthy. So I ask people, if you can keep your warrior cells that high and you keep the viruses that level lower, how long will you live? And the answer that they give me, they'll live for a very long time. So you do not have to, so the worry that one had about viruses, that the virus is going to kill and all that, is now I can help you take that worry away, because all you have to know is, how do you bring the warrior cells up, and how do you keep the viruses down? This is what I'm going to talk about today. How do you do this so that you can stay healthy for a long time? Doesn't matter what viruses are in your body. And there are ways to do this, which I will explain. There's some products that are available, and I'm going to explain these products and how they work. I'm Alan Warnitz. I'm a nutrition expert. I help people actually restore their health, become healthy with the use of nutrition and supplementation. Supplementation means you add into nutrients that are not available in the foods, or that need to be added, and then in your foods, when you get healthy, your foods top up the nutrients. So how do you reduce the viral load, and how do you increase the warrior cells? So I'm going to talk about, let's talk number one, how do you increase your warrior cells? Alright, so there's a product that I've developed which is called Maximize Your Immunity, and there are some ingredients in there which actually helps with the increasing the warrior cells, and it builds up your immunity. So this is what that one does. There's another product that I've developed as well. This is called Astroviral Aid. It's a product that's called herbs. Those herbs is what drops the viral load. So one increases the warrior cells, and this one works against the viruses, and it drops the viral load. So when you work these two together, as I said earlier, you will stay healthy. There are certain things you need to do in terms of your diet. I will not talk about diet here, but there is information that I've provided on diet, on how to eat healthy. What tends to happen, the diets normally have junk foods, and one doesn't really know what are the junk foods until you learn what they are. So I provide information on junk foods, because why people don't know what are junk foods is because there has been so much advertising of foods that one believes that certain foods are good when they actually are junk foods. So to be able to make sure that this works, because the junk foods will actually help increase the viral load, and the junk foods will drop the warrior cells. So you need to learn that. This is not the topic here, but I will give you links to to look at junk foods. So when you take away junk foods, then this will work for you. All right. So how does this product work now? How does Maximize Immunity work? Let me explain it to you. So Maximize Immunity has got these vitamins. Has got vitamin B5, has got zinc, has got vitamin C, vitamin D, selenium, L-glutamine, L-lysine. These are vitamins, minerals, and amino acids. These are essential to build up, to do this here, to build up the warrior cells and bring them up. Alright, so what does vitamin B5 does? It's a stress vitamin. It helps the adrenal hormones. When the adrenal hormones are available, it helps with the immune system. The immune system is built, and it also helps with stress, because stress damages the body. Stress, what it does, under stress, the body needs sugar. The hormones actually destroy your muscles to turn them into sugar for energy. So when you have B5, it helps the restoration of these muscles. That's what stress does, and that's what vitamin B5 does. It helps with the adrenal glands, which are glands up here. So it produces the adrenal hormones for combating stress. Zinc acts as a monkey wrench. So here's an example. I did a little sketch here of the cells. So this is one cell, the second cell here. So what happens is the virus here. So this is a virus here. This is a little description of a virus here. It invades the cell. So it comes to the surface of the cell, and it finds a way to get inside. When it gets inside, it will go towards the nucleus, because this is where the DNA is. This is where the programming of the cells are. It goes there, it changes it, and out comes viruses. So it multiplies it, breaks the thing, and comes out. So here's the viruses here. It's damaged the surface of the cell, and they go out. So now what it wants to do now, it wants to go and find another cell and another cell, which has a nucleus and a nucleus, because it wants to multiply. So this is going to move here, go inside, and go in there, and this is going to go in there and move and destroy the cells. So as the cells get destroyed, you get an illness in that area. So for example, I've made a list of viral infections here, like hepatitis. So if you have the hepatitis virus, and these are the liver cells, you get hepatitis. The liver cells get damaged, and you get the disease of liver cells. Gastroenteritis, which is a stomach flu. So if these are the cells of the stomach and they get destroyed by this virus, by the gastrovirus, then you get it. HIV, it will attacks the T cells. So the T cells is all your immune cells. So if HIV grows and manages to move forward, it attacks the T cells, and it attacks your immune system. Because now the T cells are your warrior cells. These are the T cells, the warrior cells. COVID is a virus that attacks the lungs. So if COVID has arrived in the lungs, it will destroy the lungs, and you'll have bronchitis, the lungs will get inflamed, and you get the illness. Flu and colds, influenza. Herpes is also a virus. Cold sores, you probably have cold sores you've seen there. There's an amino acid, L-lysine, which is normally used to combat the cold sores. I will explain how that works. Fever blisters, shingles. Shingles, if you've had chicken pox as a child and you grow up, that virus is dormant, is sleeping, but it can be activated. It can come back to life. Normally it comes back to life when one is under severe stress, or one has experienced severe losses and severe strenuous issues in life. Shingles can come back. All these are viruses, and there is a way that we can combat the virus and bring the load down. I will explain that as we go. Measles, mumps, which is infected salivary glands, you get mumps, and conjunctivitis, pink eye. Conjunctivitis also is a viral infection. Just a quick anecdote on conjunctivitis. You can use fresh tomato. You take the tomato juice and put it in the eye. What it does, the tomato juice actually takes the virus and actually glues it together. When the virus is glued together, the immune system can get rid of it, or you can wash it away. This is a bit of a magic way of getting rid of conjunctivitis. I know what I'm saying because I did it several times when I had pink eyes, and I didn't need any other things. Okay, so let's go back to the cells. So the virus is going in. So what can one do now? In Maximize Your Immunity, which is this one here, as I said earlier, it has L-lysine. L-lysine makes collagen. So now between the cells you have collagen. So there's a collagen here, so I'll make it as little as... So what the collagen does, collagen normally when you have collagen, you'll have nice skin and you look young. So people who look young, or young people, have collagen, their skin is nice and tight. As you get older and what's happening with you getting wrinkles is because the collagen has been destroyed, so it's been damaged. So how do you rebuild collagen? Collagen is built with lysine, and you need to have vitamin C. Vitamin C has to be present, but the lysine is what makes collagen. When there's collagen present, the virus, when the virus comes out here, it stops. So all the viruses now are collected here. So they can't go anywhere. They can't move here, they can't move there. And then your warrior cells now can come and eat it up and get rid of it. So that's one way of stopping a virus. You stop a virus with L-lysine. It stops it. It can't move. Zinc, when zinc is transported into the cell, there's some foods that actually transport the zinc into the cells, and there's some vitamins that transport the zinc. A transporter, for example, is you can get them from onions. There's many other things. I can provide some information on transport. Anyway, it helps to make the zinc come inside. The moment the zinc comes inside, it just blocks the virus. The virus cannot move into the nucleus. It just stops it. That's why we call it a monkey wrench. So that's how zinc works. I explained B5. Vitamin D, I've got some notes. So these are notes that I'm going to read some notes out of it. I will provide a link on these notes. So what vitamin D does, it plays a critical role in promoting immune response. So it's for immune response. So in response to viruses coming around, vitamin D does that. It enhances the function of the immune cells. So the immune cells that come and eat up the viruses, it enhances their function. So basically the vitamin D helps to increase the viral load. So viral load goes up, the white blood cells are becoming more efficient, they can actually act faster. So, and it's also necessary for the reabsorption of calcium in the blood. Deficiencies can lead to blindness, night blindness, defective bones. Alright, so now we're talking about immunity. So that's what vitamin D does. Selenium is an antioxidant and is necessary for the immune system and enzyme activity. Enzymes mean for conversions and production of cells, and production of amino acids, and production of proteins and all that. So that's selenium. So these play an essential role. L-glutamine is normally found in the colon. So, and it helps rebuild the colon, but L-glutamine is also necessary for the immune system. L-glutamine tends to be run out when people have done sports, or people have been very exerted themselves. So it helps with the immune system, and it helps with building up the warrior cells. So that's how we build warrior cells and how we increase the volume. Now the warrior cells are made of protein. And are made of omega-3. Okay, so you need to have protein and you need to have omega-3 in your diet so that you can have a high abundance of warrior cells, because you need to make them, you need to produce them. They're not just come from thin air, they are made from proteins. So where do you get your proteins from foods? Normally you get from whey protein. You've got whey, you've probably heard of whey. There's whey powder and there's whey protein, not whey powder. Whey protein. Whey protein is they've extracted the whey protein out of whey powder. From your meats, which is beef, lamb, sheep, chicken, fish, you get that, milk and cheese. And if you're vegetarian, you get it from your grains, beans, lentils, rice, dal. So if you're vegetarian, you must combine the beans and rice and lentils. There mustn't be just one grain. Nuts and seeds, you'll get your omega-3, which is sunflower seeds, macadamia, almonds, flaxseed, pecan nuts, pumpkin seeds, sesame, dill. These are the foods that will give you the omega-3, and those nuts and seeds also have protein in there. So there is, in terms of diet, this is where you build up your immune cells. Now, viruses. How does this work? This is a herbal formula. There are 5 herbs in there. I've designed this, and I've actually requested for that to be done because it has very special properties on viral issues. So what it has 5 herbs. I'm going to list them, but if you want to know more information, you just go to the link and it explains how these herbs work. Astragalus, Andrographis, Echinacea. I'm sure you've heard of Echinacea for colds and flus. Olive leaf, antiparasitic. It handles parasites. It removes parasites. Elderflower. So these are essential. So what they do is they have the ability to actually block a virus before it even comes to the cell. So now, if a virus has entered, you got zinc. If the virus has come out, you got collagen. So the whole path of a virus can be blocked anywhere, whether it's inside, outside, and the herbs just also have a property where they actually make them disabled. They disable them. So when you're disabling the viruses, what are you doing? The virus load is coming down. You want less virus. You want to minus the virus. You want them to become inefficient, ineffective. While you're doing this, your protein, your omega-3s, and these vitamins here from maximizing immunity is building up your warrior cells. All right, so let me just look at a few things that it does here. So the HIV virus, it inhibits the replication of virus of the HIV virus. So HIV, it stops that from. It works on antibodies. It also helps on the production. So it actually helps. It speeds up the process of the making. So as long as you provide protein and omega-3, and there's no junk foods, I said this earlier. You take your junk foods out of your diet. I said you can go and get a list of the junk foods, and you have the herbs there which accelerate, which makes it go faster and produces more antibodies as long as you provide the proteins. Olive leaf, as I said, antiparasitic and also worms. So it's like a form of a deworming. So worms also can create a problem in terms of damaging cells as well, other than viruses. Heart and arteries, this product, Astroviral 8, helps with the heart. It helps with the heart muscles. If there's been a shortage of oxygen due to blockages, it actually helps to restore that. It reduces the risk of damage when oxygen supply is not back. It brings it back to normal. Inflammations, it helps the production of anti-inflammatory hormones. So I spoke about B5, which is the stress hormone, is also anti-inflammatory hormone. So normally when the cells get damaged, you will have inflammation. So let's say your liver has got viral hepatitis, you'll have an inflammation. Gastroenteritis, you'll have an inflammation. COVID, you'll have inflammation of the lungs. Flus and colds, you have inflammation of the lungs. So all these different viruses produce in the body a response of inflammation. Vitamin B5 produces a hormone, a stress hormone. It's called cortisol. Cortisol is an anti-inflammatory. So now, if you provide this to your body, while your body is tackling the viruses, it's also helping with inflammation, and the cortisol drops the inflammation while the virus load is dropping. Has anti-aging properties. It also helps with cancer. It fights cancer cells. Antibacterial herb. So if one has got diarrhea, normally bacteria will cause diarrhea in the colon. It also helps with that. It helps with vaginal infections. Thrush, because thrush, which comes from Candida, is actually a fungus. So we've come to the end of this topic of fighting viruses. So now that you know that all you need to do now is there's 2 steps you need to take. One is you increase the volume of warrior cells, so you get your warrior cells to go up from where it is, you go higher. And the viral load, the viruses, which is the danger, you bring it lower. So as long as you've got that gap here means you'll stay healthy for as long as you live. So I hope I've taken a little bit of the worry out of you in terms of viruses. If you think you have to worry about it, all you have to worry is that you must not let it go. And I've given you answers. The two answers are, this product here will increase the volume of health of your warrior cells, as long as you have your protein and omega-3 together with this, it goes up. And this one here, what it does, it drops the virus. So if the viruses are high and your immune cells are low, you change that and you stay healthy for the rest of your life. That's the whole idea of fighting viruses, fighting bacteria, fighting parasites, worms, all of these, all that can be done so that your cells here stay healthy. They do not get damaged by any of these germs. So the germs are the viruses, parasites, and worms. Thank you for listening. The links I will provide for these two products and how they work. So if you're more interested to know how they work, the information is available in writing. So if you want to read, you can read. And any other information you would like in terms of junk foods, protein, omega-3s, I have links for those that you can read on, and you can learn how to live a healthy life and with less viruses. Thank you for listening, and I trust that you will make use of this information and make your life a better life, and share this information. You probably know people, you've got family that are worried about viruses. Share this with them so that you take that worry away and they can live a life of less worries and be happy. Thank you.